Welcome back. This is WildStar, and I don't even know where to begin with this. We're going to create a character here, and I'm going to show you the character creation options. But I want to use this video to talk about something that's been happening in the gaming industry, which I don't think is a wise move. And that's, for a long time, games had alphas and they had betas, and a lot of times they were restricted, and then usually, not usually, sometimes they'll have an open beta. What's been going on recently are beta access weekends. And you've heard me talk about this previously, where my weekends have been taken up because I'm jumping through hoops like a little bitch trying to get in through these access weekends. Now, let me explain to you why I think this is a bad idea for the long term. WildStar is a good example. Matter of fact, Elder Scrolls Online would be a good example. When Elder Scrolls Online released their launch date, WildStar was going through their hype phase, okay? And you could see that there were tons of Elder Scroll beta keys for these access weekends, but people wanted WildStar keys. And what ended up happening is when WildStar announced that they were going to have the access. Okay, let me back up a little bit. There was an alpha server that some people were playing on, quite a few, that was open 24/7, and some of these people, I don't want to say a lot because I really can't say how many, use this access to start fan sites, make videos, stream when they were able to, when the NDA was lifted. But they were basically mining this knowledge, gaining this knowledge, trying to understand the game for launch. So when the NDA lifted, for them to be able to stream the game or do videos on the game, it was sort of like a godsend for them, because they were finally able to share the game with the fans that or the people in their communities, whatever you want to call it, they had been building up all this time. I think I'm going to go with this personally. It's something I would never play on the live servers. Let's do something that I would never do. But I just wanted to show you the different classes or the different races in the game and the different options that you have. So anyway, it was sort of like a godsend for them to be able to interact and show off and answer questions. And then when WildStar released their pre-order information and the access was limited to beta access weekends, it was a hit, because that alpha server that was open was closed. Everybody was put on beta access weekends, and the hype train died because the people that were enthusiastic to play the game were no longer able to do so. They were no longer able to get in and really learn, because there's still changes being made to the game. Like, for instance, the UI and different balancing things. They weren't able to do it. It's been locked down for beta access weekend. So the hype train stopped. Now, back then, I was jumping through hoops to get this, like alpha access or beta access. And it broke me to the point where I said, you know what, I'm not doing this. So by the time it came out where you could buy the game, pre-order the game, I wasn't doing it. I was done. I was completely done by that point, because I wanted to get in, learn the game, so that I could share it with the people that follow me. That's free advertising for them. Why are you making it difficult? To me, if you have somebody that's willing to make a commitment for long-term content and has established history of making long-term content for games, why would you pick that person, anybody else, just like a random person over somebody that's making a commitment to your game? It doesn't, to me, that is just like the stupidest thing, because when the developer stops making content, those people, those dedicated people, are the ones keeping the hype train going. And in WildStar, you could just see people wall smacking like I was, trying to get the key. Now, if I had gotten that key back then, I guarantee you I would have bought the game at launch. Hang on a second. But now, kiss my ass.
I'm sorry, sir. Our last jump to the Nexus system overloaded the reactor in that section. This ship is more than 3 centuries old.
Sadie Brightland.
I know the name, Mr. Brightland.
Just call me Deadeye. Now quit arguing and get my wife out of cryo.
Internal sensors are out. Ship's records are unreliable at best. Wait, I think I found it. A functioning pod. Firing up the retrieval system. Magnetic clamps released.
Lucky for you, you found her. Sadie, darling. Hey, be careful.
Sorry. Hydraulics are leaking. Hold on. Damn. Records are wrong. This isn't her. She's in a different silo.
Fine. Then whoever you just woke up is gonna help me track her down.
Reanimation nearly complete. All vitals look solid.
Good. We're gonna need every able-bodied exile we got.
Now, each faction, each area has a very similar kind of starting area here, from what I saw. Slight variances, but basically the same. So, yeah, let's... that always cracks me up when that electricity gets it. That thing. Let's go.
I ain't one to ask for help, but I got no damn choice.
So I'll let you, this is not completely voice acted. So I'm going to let you, be able to read the storyline here. But, yeah, so that's how it was with WildStar. So now there's keys up the yin-yang trying to get people to get into this game. And I received some keys for this weekend, so I got in the game. But I was, it was like, well, I could get in Friday. I could get in Saturday. But I got in because I didn't have any WildStar footage on my channel. And I'm not saying that the game is a bad game. If you are into raiding, hardcore raiding, WildStar is your ticket. Okay? I've been talking about ArcheAge lately, but ArcheAge is more PvP than PvE.
I got your back. You get this done.
So if you like open world PvP, ArcheAge. If you like hardcore raiding, WildStar. Where am I going here? Okay, here I go. Let me get settled here. So anyway, yeah, you see that the little yellow thing? That will let you know interactables in this game.
You found her. Sadie, can you hear me? Everything's gonna be okay.
So WildStar is sending out keys and working very hard to try to get that hype train back. That's the problem with the beta access weekends. This is the problem with how they are picking people to give these access points to.
She ain't looking too good. She's got the cryo sickness. We need to get her to medbay, and fast.
So if they had kept the alpha server up and they had allowed people that were dedicated to making content, people that had fan sites, were making videos, were streaming, if they had kept that open, like for example, do you know how many WildStar videos I could have had up by now? You see what I'm saying? How many people would have been streaming it by now on a regular basis? How many more fans? How many more sales they could have had?
Hang on, see. Gotta admit, friend, we'll be there soon. Surprised we made it this far. Us exiles, we've been on the run from the Dominion for a long time. And this old ship's on her last leg. Strange to think that we might just finally get a new home. I wouldn't exactly call myself personable, but I feel like if we all just stick together, we might just be okay. And I ain't above shooting anyone who thinks different. It looks like we're here. I'm obliged for your help, friend. Glad I didn't kill you.
So yeah, there's a lot of content missing that could have been up by now. And it's sad because the graphics in this game turn a lot of people off. Doesn't bother me at all. But they feel that it looks cartoony and they kind of dismiss it. And this is the case where I say don't judge a book by its cover. Definitely not the right thing to do.
Proceed.
So, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how WildStar does.
I fear your work is not yet finished. Actually, I know it isn't.
Because now ArcheAge is getting the hype. And they...
If you die, die well. Oh, and do it somewhere I can find your corpse. Thank you.
I really love the humor in this game. But anyway, well, now the big thing is ArcheAge.
Don't waste any more time now.
And like I said, I've been playing on the Russian version. The founder packs have been released, but to get into alpha, it's $150. I can't even say that with a straight face. $150. And I'm not dissing anybody that bought that. But like I said, WildStar broke me on jumping through hoops for that. I used to have a gaming community that had over 1 million users, and I closed it down, which I've mentioned before, when my mother was diagnosed with cancer for the first time. Then I owned a, oh, well, I guess you could say it was a web development community, but it was quite large. I was called the gatekeeper. I was the one in charge of bringing people in. It was exclusive. Everybody couldn't join. Water. So I know what this game is because I did it before it was the shit, okay? Picking the right person to be in these access points is huge. I'm one that I don't like to put myself front and center, but I'll put somebody else there in a heartbeat. But okay,
I trust there is new data.
I didn't do what I was supposed to do because I was so busy yakking, I guess. So, with this access thing, I'm telling you what's going to happen now. People paid $150. Let me tell you, they don't know when the game is going to be released. They do not know how long the alpha access is going to last. They do not know when the beta access weekends are. They do not know what changes are coming to the game with the 1.0 patch. They spent $150 on this.
But I don't say that kind of thing easy.
And know nothing. sort of like the people that pre-ordered Elder Scrolls
He'll be expecting you.
way back. You know, how are they feeling now with that buggy game? You know, so I'm not downing ArcheAge, and I'm not stomping on anybody that paid that $150, but I'm telling you now, ArcheAge is going to lose the hype train because they chose the beta access weekend thing. And supposedly their alpha is supposed to stay up, but what's going to happen is that they so busy trying to ride that hype train, they didn't pick people who would be loyal and would stay with the game. Not enough. Not enough. So we'll see.
Time fades away.
Okay, I am going to close this one, but we will be back with WildStar, and I will see you guys in the next one.